today's podcast is going to be about what coaches want to see in a highlight video, but we were going to break it down by position because we've had so many questions about how do you show yourself off as a defender, midfielder. Obviously, for strikers and wingers, it's a little bit easier because it's goals and assists, but really talking about like what to show off for your game so that you can go play college or pro and all that stuff. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna let you start it off.
You want me to start off?
Yeah.
I can do that. Okay, no problem. Think of, for the individual player, think of what are their best qualities. Let's say you're a center back. There are different types of center backs. You have some center backs that are playmakers. And if I was a playmaker, I would highlight breaking lines with passes or dribbling through successfully and under composure and all that and then some. But let's say you're a center back that is physical, that is strong. I would be showing defending one-on-ones, speed whenever the ball goes over the head. And everything has to be off of your strengths as a player. And if you don't know what your strengths are, think of where you have your most success as a player. So let's say midfielders, different type of midfielders. You have holding mids, you have attacking mids. Now, if you're a holding mid that maybe isn't physically superior, you're probably one that plays big switches or is a creator from the holding mid position. So I would say everything has to be based off of the player's strengths. And every player is different, which is wonderful because when you look at a highlight video, coaches want something diverse. They don't want the same thing over and over and over again. So for me, I've just gone over center backs and holding mids. You're up, boss.
Okay. So I would say, with like wing backs, that position has changed a lot in the last few years from like an outside back to now switching into more of a wing back or joining the attack.
Yeah.
And I think showing that off, that you're willing to join in, get all the way up and back, and that work, ethic and that energy that you put into it, that's huge because I don't think that many players can go up and back, up and back. And yeah, it sounds like fitness, but coaches want to see that. Especially, we just had University of Nebraska here play our second team, and it was just boom, 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 all fitness. They had 7 runners in the box every time.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they had a wing back on either side going every time. So I think with that, that's a huge thing. Work rate, showing that you're confident too for defenders. Confidence is huge. Being able to go up and win the ball in the air and showing that off in your video is huge. And then the other thing with midfielders that I was thinking about is, like you said, like breaking lines, winning the ball, joining in the attack. Holding and attacking, like you said, is different, or that 8 where you're box to box. But being able to show off those moments of you're willing to track your mark where you're supposed to and then go in and win. Because I think it's a big thing to say is like, which I've actually said to a high school class before, is you're sending this video to people educated enough to know what they're looking at. This doesn't have to be like Sports Center top 10, like, goals, assists, especially in these roles. That's not really your strength, is the goals and the assists probably. You're more of the defensive player. So how do you show that off? And I think that's something that needs to be said, is like, because everybody always just goes to Instagram or YouTube and they're like, oh, did you see that goal? Or, that was crazy. But you're sending these videos to coaches that know what it is that they're looking for. So showing off the strengths for that position is major, not just what you think people on Instagram are going to like more,
Well, no, that's the difficulty is we see highlight videos on YouTube and we go, that's what I need to show. It's like when the whistle blows and the ball is live, you're playing a game, and that game is different for each individual. Show your strengths. What are your strengths? Why are you playing? You're playing because you're successful in certain elements of the game. And if it's a highlight video, it needs to be your highlight video, not someone else's. So, I mean, forward scoring goals, assists, turning, going, beating defenders, one-on-ones, all that is huge. Wingers, can you cross the ball? Can you cross the ball deep? Can you turn in tight areas? Can you go one-on-one? You've already mentioned wing backs, full backs. Do you have speed, pace? What does it look like? What does it look like when you combine overlapping runs, combinations, spatial awareness, attacking mids? You're talking about can you shoot and score? But attacking mids are creative players. Show your creativity. And, you know, some players like to show both sides of the balls. And it's like, that's reasonable because, you know what, there's two sides of the game. What I would say and encourage, most coaches look more so in the attacking than they do the defending. And I mean, yeah, I think that's really all the positions and my thoughts towards making a highlight reel. Well, yeah.
Yeah. And I would say, like, just because I was a winger all the way up until this year, I've had a few coaches tell me that they appreciated that I added in like positioning. You know, I was willing to cut a pass and still close in on a press, you know, if for especially for teams that are a high press team. Your defensive work, that worked great. You're willing to come back with your mark, that wing back, all the way back with him, win the ball, and then join right back in.
Yeah.
Even if it was 20 seconds worth, they wanted to see all of it, not just winning the tackle, connect the pass, and that's it. They wanted to see all of it. And especially now, that we're recording games more. I know, like in the youth game, it's way more popular to record, you know, these matches and stuff. If you have a game where, you know, you've absolutely killed it, you know, it's your best match you've ever played, and you have it on video, at least put one half on YouTube if you want to send that to coaches too, because coaches are starting to notice, though, at the same time, that like people will just put like the very, very best, you know, if it's a couple of tap in goals, and just know this as like strikers, they put in a few goals and they're like, whoa. And then they get the player and they're like, what is happening? You know, they want to see a full clip now. They want to see a full half of how you play, so that there isn't just these 5 seconds of greatness scattered from 3 years. They want to see a half.
They do.
So
They do. I mean, it's spot on. Everything you're saying is spot on. And people are like, what are strengths? Can you play with your weak foot? Right? Not just the simple things, but, you know, a medium range pass, a long range pass, playing in tight areas, dribbling in tight areas. I mean, all those things. Yeah. So I think you crushed it. Spot on, boss.
awesome. Yeah, I think this is going to be really helpful for people that are getting ready to start into that process of, you know, looking to go to college, or, you know, from college to pro, like even. Because a lot of times, you know, even with college stuff, it's the connection here through your coach or whatever, and they come and watch your games. But as you're getting ready to progress to that next level, how do you advertise yourself? Because sometimes you're in these clubs for I don't know how many years, and the coaches already know you, and then you keep moving on with that team. But now you're talking about advertising yourself, your strengths, and it's really important to know what it is that coaches actually want to see, not just what you see on social media from small clips here and there, but how to actually put all that together. So I appreciate you taking time to talk about this. I know it was
Always.
a very short one, but I think it's a lot of information that, you know, will benefit a lot of people.
It's important. And that's what we're here for.
Love it. All right, man. Well, enjoy the rest of your day, and we will have another one of these soon.
Laters.